Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Oh, man, got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. My goodness, guys. And you guys know what to do on this channel, man. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives. Oh, man, and in this video, guys, I want to respond to my man, Angry Old Hoops, man. I was watching his video this morning as I was getting ready for work, man. And I want to respond to some of the things that he was talking about in his video this morning in reaction to that clown FYF and how he goofed up the Sunday Live. And I did my video yesterday talking about the things that he was mentioning and making the excuses he was making for LeBron James. But in this video, I want to respond to AOH, and I want to react or respond to something that he had asked me to speak about, that this guy FYF has been pumping out on his channel. I guess this idea, this notion that we can't dispute, or we have nothing to say to dispute LeBron James' 40,000 points versus Michael Jordan's 10 scoring titles, and how these LeBron James fans really believe that it's harder to achieve the 40,000 points than it is to achieve a 10 scoring titles, or that it's more impressive, LeBron James' 40,000 points to Michael Jordan's 10 scoring titles. And we're going to break it down in this video because, once again, FYF exposed himself. And we're going to talk about it, man, because, once again, my man AOH, he knows the deal, man. He's always on the money. And like I said, man, he knows that if I was there yesterday on that live show, on Sunday on that live, that it wouldn't have went down that way. So we're going to talk about this video, guys. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. I am truly humble, guys, for real, man. Shout out to everybody in the membership, man. Anyone that's donated to my channel, anyone that comments, likes my videos, subscribes, thank you, guys. You guys truly humble me, man, for real. It really means a lot, man. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I wanted to do a reaction video to my man AOH, Angry Hoops, this morning. I saw his video that he did in the response to the Sunday Live show and the nonsense that FYF was saying. Now, I did that video yesterday in response to the Sunday Live show, right? I broke it down. I listened to the last part of the Sunday Live show because some of you guys had hit me up saying that FYF came there and goofed up the show. He messed it all up. You know what I'm saying? He dumbed it down and he made a bunch of excuses and a bunch of weird statements, man. You know, as it relates to LeBron James and the P. Diddy stuff, and how LeBron James picks and chooses what he wants to speak up against. But at the same time, they want to promote him as this great activist, right? This great role model, this great father, husband, all this stuff, man. They want to promote him as such. But once again, he picks and chooses when he wants to be that person. The same thing he does on defense. He picks and chooses when he wants to give effort, and when he wants to speak up. It's the same thing, guys. But in this video, I want to focus on something that AOH had asked me. He had emailed me, and he had told me something about this guy FYF making videos on his channel and basically making the statement that we have no response to LeBron James' 40,000 points, and how the 40,000 points from LeBron James is more impressive than Michael Jordan's 10 scoring titles. Or it's more rare feat, or it's harder to accomplish, whatever the case may be. And I think most people understand that Michael Jordan's 10 scoring titles is a much harder feat. But it's not just the 10 scoring titles, because, see, this is the problem for someone like FYF, and this is the problem for someone like LeBron James and all of the LeBron James supporters out there, not just his full FYF. Once again, they're not up on the history of the game, right? They don't care about the history of the game. They're disingenuous. They don't care to understand the history of the game. They don't do their research. But the more important part here, guys, is that they lie. They will completely lie and not give you the full truth. They won't put context behind Michael Jordan's 10 scoring titles. So when FYF makes a claim about Michael Jordan having 10 scoring titles and how LeBron James' 40,000 points are somehow harder to accomplish, or it's a greater feat to accomplish somehow, it doesn't add up. Because if we think about the 10 scoring titles, once again, it's not just 10 scoring titles. You see, this is what they do to Michael Jordan, guys. This is what an FYF does. This is what LeBron James fans do. The La Media. This is what they do. They don't give you the full context behind Michael Jordan. It's not just 10 scoring titles. The man won literally 7 scoring titles in a row. I mean, essentially 10 straight scoring titles. They won't mention that. But essentially, Michael Jordan won a scoring title literally every season he played. Essentially, every full season Michael Jordan played, he won a scoring title except for his rookie year, guys. That's it. I don't want to hear about the Wizards years, man. We're talking about Michael Jordan at his peak, at his prime. On the Chicago Bulls, won a scoring title literally every full season he played except for his rookie season. Rookie season. So what does that point to? That points to what? The overall scoring ability of Michael Jordan. To win a scoring title that many times, you have to have a well-rounded overall offensive game, right? Which means or allows you the ability to score against different kinds of defenses. It doesn't matter what it is. That's why I laugh when people say, oh, Michael Jordan, he couldn't go against the zone. What? Michael Jordan went against every kind of defense you could imagine, guys. He went against it. He went through it. He went over it. He went around it. It didn't matter. He found a way because of his overall offensive game. That 63-point performance against the Boston Celtics in '86, that wasn't just dunks and layups. That was an overall offensive arsenal that Michael Jordan used to go against one of the greatest defensive teams in the history of the game. Not only just the greatest team, but a great defensive team. They have a high IQ team, and they were very well coached, and they had great leadership. And Michael Jordan was able to go crazy on them because of his overall offensive game in only his second season, coming off a foot injury. So this is why Michael Jordan was able to lead the league in scoring so many years, because of his overall offensive game that never declined. It evolved. It evolved, guys, and there's the evidence of that. But what we really have to focus on when we talk about Michael Jordan had 10 scoring titles, Michael Jordan had 10 scoring titles. 6 of those scoring titles came while he was winning championships. No one else has sniffed that. Not even sniffed it. No one, guys, has led the league in scoring 6 times and won 6 championships while doing so. No one's done this. So when we think about that, once again, they're not giving you the context behind Michael Jordan's 10 scoring titles. 6 of them came while winning championships, right? Simultaneously, which is unheard of. Unheard of. LeBron James, 40,000 points. It came while he won 4 championships, but he lost 6. So he's scoring all these points during a regular season, putting all these points up. Meanwhile, the same energy is not kept in the postseason. Does LeBron James have the highest scoring average in the playoffs? No, he doesn't. I believe he's 6th or 7th all time on the playoffs points per game list. All right? Michael Jordan is number 1. 33 points per game for the playoffs all time, guys. The highest all time. No one's even close. But once again, Michael Jordan did this while winning. While winning. That's the key here, guys. So when FYF makes a claim and says, oh, Michael Jordan 10 scoring titles aren't as impressive as LeBron James 40,000 points. Just 6 of Michael Jordan's scoring titles came while he was winning championships. More than LeBron James 4. So all these points LeBron James has scored throughout his career, they've been what? They've been the result of him being a consistent ball chucker, a consistent shot taker, even though they'll promote him as a pass-first player. LeBron James has taken 20 shots a game for his career. 20 shots a game. That's nowhere near pass-first. Nowhere near it. Guys like John Stockton taking like 9 shots a game for their careers. Magic Johnson, like 12 shots a game for his career, 13 shots, whatever it is. Jason Kidd, these are pass-first players. LeBron James ain't a pass-first player, but he's the only guy in NBA's history that takes 20 shots a game that's promoted as a pass-first player. The only guy in history. Meanwhile, everyone else that takes 18, 17, 19, 20 shots a game, 21 shots a game, they're labeled ball hogs, shot chuckers, right? Volume shooters. Not LeBron James, though. Not him. Even though the man's always taking shots away from his teammates because he manipulates and dominates the basketball. So he's been a consistent scorer because he's always taking shots consistently. But he's not a potent scorer, so he only has 1 scoring title. In all these years of all that scoring, 1 scoring title, that exposes him. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan has 10 scoring titles and is not the leader in all-time points. Think about Karl Malone. Karl Malone scored more points than Michael Jordan all time and has no scoring titles. And the reason why Karl Malone has no scoring titles is because he's not as great of a scorer as Michael Jordan. Even though he scored more points than Michael Jordan, he didn't have the overall offensive game, the scoring ability of a Michael Jordan. So once again, Karl Malone is a great scorer and could score, in different ways at that power forward position. You could argue he's the greatest scorer at that position. But he has no scoring titles on his resume because he played in the same era as Michael Jordan, who's a much more well-rounded scorer, a more potent scorer than a Karl Malone. So, similar thing for LeBron James. He has all these points, but he doesn't have more scoring titles than a Russell Westbrook, or a James Harden, or a Kevin Durant, or a Steph Curry. Why not? Because LeBron James doesn't have the overall offensive game. So he cannot be consistently leading the league in scoring because his game is basic, boring, and bland. Think about it. How the hell does Russell Westbrook, who played in the same era as LeBron James, right? How does he have more scoring titles than LeBron James? And once again, when FYF talks about scoring titles versus LeBron James' accumulative points, his longevity points, Michael Jordan was getting those scoring titles while winning championships, you fool, you goof. And you don't get that. But let's take it one step further, shall we? So we've covered the Michael Jordan scoring titles while winning championships, which is the goal of basketball players, of a Michael Jordan. That was the goal for him. It was all about winning. So he did not give a damn about the points he scored necessarily. He cared about the winning. And he did whatever he had to do to win. So if he had to average 40, he did it. If he had to average 35, 33, 29, 31, whatever it was, he did that. And he was the only player on all of those teams that was capable of doing so. The only player. Never played with another offensive scorer like that could be consistent that way. Nope, not Scottie Pippen, guys. He was never that guy. But let's take it a step further here. Right, we mentioned all that. Now let's mention the defensive side of the ball here that FYF will never mention when it comes to LeBron James and the 40,000 points that he's accumulated. Once again, he gives you no context. He doesn't educate you. How often is LeBron James standing around on defense, guys? How often is he standing around with his hands on his hips? Pretty often. Quite often. So once again, this exposes LeBron James. He's resting on defense for his offensive numbers. I want you guys to think about how often or how many times have you seen LeBron James on video, and I posted some of this stuff, on video travel, carry the ball right in front of the referee, not get called, and then make a basket right after that travel. So essentially, how many points has LeBron James scored after travels, after carries, after offensive fouls? I mean, blatantly. This is not LeBron James getting away with some of this stuff every once in a while. We're talking about blatant travels, blatant carries, blatant offensive fouls, consistently not being called, and LeBron James scoring points. What, 1,000 points maybe you could take away from that? Huh? Also, once again, like I mentioned, how often is LeBron James not playing defense? Is LeBron James playing defense like Michael Jordan was during those 10 scoring titles? So, during the 10 scoring titles, Michael Jordan has 9 all-defensive first teams during those 10 scoring titles and 6 championships with 6 Finals MVPs. So, it wasn't like Michael Jordan was on some stacked team and other players were getting Finals MVPs, helping Michael Jordan, bailing him out essentially. It wasn't like Michael Jordan was in the finals all these years and he was choking up. He wasn't able to score when it mattered most because that exposed LeBron James. Where was all that 40,000 point scoring in 2011? Where was it in 2007? Where are all those points then? Where's LeBron James' offensive game in those series? It's non-existent. It's nowhere to be found. Right? In 2012? 2012, maybe I want to say it was. Or maybe it was 2011. It might have been 2012. That the Heat played the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. Or the semifinal. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been the semifinal that they played the Boston Celtics. And I believe that might have been the last time that they actually matched up with the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat. And it was Dwayne Wade, in fact, that led the Miami Heat over the Boston Celtics. He led them in scoring at over 30 a game. Now LeBron James. It was Dwayne Wade. How often did Scottie Pippen lead Michael Jordan in scoring in a series, in a playoff series? Never, guys. Not even close. Not even close. Michael Jordan was only outscored one time during a playoff performance, and that was his rookie year against the Milwaukee Bucks and Terry Cummings. That's it, guys. He was never outscored in a series. Meanwhile, LeBron James was outscored by Jason Terry in a finals. So where are all those 40,000 points at then? Where are they at? He was outscored by Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, his own teammates. Could you imagine Michael Jordan being a third option? And AOH brought that point up in his video. Could you imagine Michael Jordan being a third option on the Chicago Bulls in the finals? Could you imagine Michael Jordan in 1993 going against the stacked Phoenix Suns, the highest offense in the league that year? Could you imagine him being the third option behind Scottie Pippen and a Horace Grant, or behind Scottie Pippen and a B.J. Armstrong? Could you imagine that, guys? Could you imagine Michael Jordan being the third option in 97 when he had the flu? In the flu game, being the third option behind Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc? Could you imagine that? It would never happen. It couldn't happen. The Bulls would never win that way. Michael Jordan never folded up, never hit in the corner of an NBA Finals game and blew on his hands and shrunk before the moment. Remember, Michael Jordan found other ways to impact the games, impact winning, not LeBron James. So all these 40,000 points he scored, it amounted to what? An inconsistent team, an inconsistent record. That's what we've gotten. And once again, LeBron James ain't been an all-defensive team in his 30s. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan was winning scoring titles, evolving his game, winning championships while doing this, never going to a Game 7, and playing elite-level defense. 9 of the 10 scoring title seasons, Michael Jordan was all-defensive first team. That's insane, guys. Insane. There's no other player since they've been keeping all defensive teams since 1969. There's no one else coming close to doing this. Leading the league in scoring, being elite level on defense while winning. See, that's what FYF won't talk about. He won't mention the winning that Michael Jordan did in those scoring title seasons. So 4 of his scoring titles came when he didn't win. The other 6, the majority came when he was winning championships. And once again, playing elite level defense, giving the effort, not resting on defense for his offense and cheaping it out like LeBron James does. LeBron James, all these points he's scoring, standing around on defense, lollygagging up and down the court, load managing on games, right? Picking and choosing what teams to go against to make it easier for him. LeBron James playing in a weak, soft era where he's the biggest player on the court. Are we impressed by LeBron James' 40,000 points? I'm not impressed by any of those points, guys. Especially over the last, 10 years? The NBA has been a joke. It's been completely soft. No travels called. No palmings. No offensive fouls. LeBron James teams get all these free throws. He gets the benefit of that, all these calls. Michael Jordan wasn't getting all those calls like that. And I've done videos on this. Nowhere near the amount of calls. That's why I posted that screenshot. Still to this day, LeBron James still has not passed Michael Jordan in fouls, personal fouls against him, guys. He's played over 400 more games than Michael Jordan. Still ain't passed him in fouls? It's insane. So once again, shout out to my man AOH, man. Angry Old Hoops, always coming through with the video footage. He's a czar of the video footage, man. He's breaking it down. And I wanted to respond and react to something that he had asked me about the 10 scoring titles and his goof FYF, trying to make it seem like 40,000 points is more impressive than 10 scoring titles. There are players that were actually closer to 40,000 points than they were to 10 scoring titles. The closest player to 10 scoring titles is Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain. Think about that. Wilt Chamberlain, the guy who scored 100 points in a game, the guy who averaged 54 a season, is the closest guy to Michael Jordan. And he's still 3 off. Still 3 off. Kevin Durant, they'll tell you the most skilled player of all time. Oh, Kevin Durant, the most skilled offensive player in the history of the game. Kyrie Irving, the most skilled offensive player in the history of the game, they tell you. They're nowhere near Michael Jordan scoring the ball. No, Kyrie Irving's never led the league in scoring, and Kevin Durant has 4, which is great. Still a long way from that 10. A long way. The Iceman, Gervin, great score, a long way from Michael Jordan scoring titles. Dominique Wilkins. All these great scores, guys. They're nowhere near Jerry West, Elgin Baylor. They're nowhere near what Michael Jordan was doing. And once again, Michael Jordan was doing this while winning, while playing elite level defense, which helped him and his team win. While being a great leader. LeBron James ain't even a great leader. Never quit. Michael Jordan was a true competitor. That's the main difference between the 10 scoring titles of Michael Jordan and those 40,000 meaningless points of LeBron James that he's accumulated through load managing and walking around and standing right on defense, picking and choosing his opponents, being allowed to offensive foul up and down the court, not being called for palms or carry violations, playing in the weakest, softest era in the history of the league, where literally almost every game LeBron James is the biggest player in the court. Are we impressed by that? Look at LeBron James' offensive game. Is it impressive to you? Once again, Russell Westbrook has more scoring titles in the same era as LeBron James does. Russell Westbrook, guys. And Russell Westbrook ain't sniffing a scoring title in the 90s or in the 80s. He ain't sniffing it, guys. And those are the facts, man. And that's not a knock on Russell Westbrook, man. He's a hustler out there, no doubt. Those scoring titles go to his overall offensive hustle and his overall game. And once again, the necessity he had when Kevin Durant left the team. He was forced into more shots and, more of a burden on him. But once again, man, Russell Westbrook ain't scored like that. His overall offensive game ain't like that. His scoring comes off his athleticism. He don't have an overall offensive game, same as LeBron James, guys. He don't have an overall offensive game, and yet he was still able to lead the league in scoring more times than LeBron James. 21 years in one scoring title, that right there exposes that 40,000 points as being fraudulent. Same thing as a Karl Malone. All those points, no scoring titles. It's not because you're not a great scorer, Karl Malone. You win against Michael Jordan, who's a much greater scorer. Just the facts. You guys know the deal, man. These are the facts here, man. LeBron James wasn't winning scoring titles while winning like Michael Jordan was. FYF won't mention this. He just talks about 10 scoring titles and make a blatant statement. It's deeper than that. It's more context behind it. Michael Jordan was doing this while he was winning. He wasn't putting them numbers on a bad team. LeBron James out here putting up all these stats on bad teams, mediocre teams. Those first several years in the league, come on, man. Michael Jordan was winning those scoring titles his first couple years in the league, bringing his team to the playoffs during a rebuild where they had all the roster revamped, head coaches being switched in and out, play elite level defense. And he won championships while leading the league in scoring consistently, sacrificing those same numbers to play in an actual system that LeBron James never did. So all those 40,000 points, once again, he did not sacrifice those points to win. So maybe LeBron James would only have about 32,000 points. Maybe he'd have one or two more championships, though. Where was all that scoring in 2007 finals when he got outscored by Tony Parker? Averaged 22 points a game on 35% shooting? Where was he in 2011? 17 points a game? That's a great score? That's impressive? Where were all those points then? Nope. Where was he against Kevin Durant in 2017 on the defensive end, like Michael Jordan was playing defense? He wasn't just scoring Michael Jordan, he was playing defense out there too. Now LeBron James, he'll put those points up, he'll put those stats up, won't play any defense. He won't take the challenge, he won't be a true competitor. Michael Jordan was out there being a true competitor, giving the effort, leading his team, sacrificing to win. And that's the main difference between a LeBron James-led team and a Michael Jordan-led team. You guys know the deal, man. Once again, shout out to my man AOH for making that video. Like I said, man, he spit the facts and he knows the deal, man. This clown FYF would not have come on there if I was there. He would not. Because he's soft and he's a clown, man. And once again, he did not educate anybody. Like my man AOH said, everyone's dumber for him coming on that show. So I hope this answered you, AOH, man. And you know the deal, man. FYF don't know a damn thing about sports. I tell you, these guys don't know basketball before 2010. They don't. And they don't want to know. And that's why we expose them. And you guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.